It's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hey, hello, Mariam. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Nothing much except for the news we woke up to today about the postponement or no postponement, and it means a lot of things will change. You know, we make plans around this.
Yeah, schools.
Things, yeah. Anyways, I have a book reading immediately after the show today, so I have to be rushing. So I'm praying that traffic is light, because I was going to use the opportunity of, you know, traffic is usually around like a few days to elections, you have traffic much lighter. So I planned a whole lot of movement. I just hope the traffic doesn't go back to normal. So yeah, I'm off for book reading.
Good. How are you doing, Nima?
Where is your shoe? Is your slippers orange?
Yes, it is.
Just saying now, so I
should
take my black. Okay, it's my elder sister's birthday today. Mariam Agbodesi. Akohiad Abdusalam. So she's married to them in Ijebu-Lahun, but she's still my elder sister, big sis. You know those ones that spoils you when you were growing up?
Yeah.
I was such a sports brat. I didn't want to do any house chores because my elder sister would do everything for me. She cooks, cleans, everything. So that was this morning thinking about how she was such a sweetheart growing up.
Right.
And I wish you all the best.
Happy birthday, Nima.
Teaching for more than 25 years.
Oh.
I was teaching. I teaching immediately she left secondary school. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Good, fantastic. How are you doing,
Fine.
You're very sporty today.
Oh, yeah.
Where are you going to?
I have some school runs to do after the show. Yeah, I'm working on my last dissertation for my master's in education. So they are sending me to schools to go and conduct research, do interview, So I think I have some of those today. But I was at the TVC International Women's Day event. It was packed. It was powerful. Thank you to TVC for putting that together. So they brought a lot of good resource persons that talked to us about self-care, self-empowerment, how we can take care of our mental well-being, physical well-being.
That's your area.
The owner of Uriki Spa was around. She shared on that.
Hasn't she been here before? She's been on our show.
On our show, oh, okay. Yes, I remember. Then there's this lady, Financial Jennifer, who talked about your savings, investments for women, how we can empower ourselves financially. It was really, really packed. Nima came in at some point, and then
that's good.
I'm
happy you
didn't talk about the farmer.
Yes. Hey, you are here now. Give them that.
There's no time. We've already done this time on our
Sorry, Mariah.
Yeah, but I mean, it was yesterday. It was International Women's Day. I was also invited by Wema Bank. They had a nice Sarah Women. It was a nice event at Civic Center. Thank you very much for inviting me. And UNICAF also invited me to speak at an event. It was really, really good. It was a packed full day for me too yesterday. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Let's start with The Nation. INEC shifts governorship assembly polls by 1 week. Fire raises shops in Lagos, Kano hostel in Anambra. Old notes Emefiele in contempt for not directing banks. Government votes 10 billion naira for startups. Tinubu hails Masha's pick as G24 director. President-elect inaugurates legal team. Umahi, why Lagosians should vote sanwo-olu. Let me start with the INEC. So it's official now. INEC has moved the elections by 1 week. And they also, with the courts also rejected the LP and PDP's plea for them not to reconfigure the beavers. According to INEC, they need time to reconfigure the beavers and also back up the details on beavers. So they are also asking that parties can apply to have all the information, every single information they need. It's not a problem, but they need to reconfigure that beavers for the governorship polls because the beavers was particularly configured for the presidential and it needs to be totally redone for the governorship. However, the data and information is backed up and can be available on the iCloud per request. So unfortunately, because the courts did not come up, the petition, the presidential election petition tribunal did not get back to them or did not give this ruling on time. They don't have enough time to do the reconfiguration and the backup. So they need another week to do all that so that next weekend we can then have proper elections.
No, we need to stop being emotional. stop being emotional in the processes. The lawyers who filed this injunction, trying to get this injunction to stop the the resetting of the beavers, knew that they could access the information there.
But
you know, you want to play to the gallery all the time and just waste the time of the country. Now we have another tension for another 1 week when we could have just voted this weekend.
Exactly.
My heart is doing bing, bing, bing. God, can these elections come and go?
Yes.
The Presidential Advisory Committee Against Corruption chairman, Professor Isesage, was talking about the Supreme Court order on old Naira notes and new Naira notes. And just like again, you know, he says that the governor of the central bank will be in contempt of court for not, in fact, is in contempt of court for not speaking and obeying the Supreme Court order already. And he says that the president, yes, he might, but he's not supposed to go against the order of the Supreme Court. But if he does, because he has immunity, nothing can be done immediately against him. And I think that sort of alludes to the lack of immunity of the central bank governor, and we need to do the needful immediately. We should stop being emotional. All this playing to the gallery, Twitter people tweeting, we should stop all of this.
It worked.
It should
for
be a serious
NSAS.
nation.
You know what? They trigger it, and then people went on the street. So people are now trying to use that same script. So let us put a few words there that will incite, thinking that Nigerians are going to do exactly the same thing. And Nigerians are smarter now. They can always tell the difference between fake news and real news.
Yes, so the federal government yesterday said that about 10 billion naira has been set aside yearly for the implementation of activities that would boost the startup industry. The Minister for Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Pantemi, talked about this at the Nigerian Startups, the inauguration of the Nigerian Startups Act of 2022 Implementation Committee. And then he goes to say that this act includes what he calls a Startup Council, the need for tax holiday for investors and innovators, and pioneer status for investors. These are the issues that are very significant to the implementation of the Act. And he also urged members of the committee to be diligent and ensure that their work was done to promote digital growth, investment opportunities, and job creations for youth, and so many other things. So it's good to see government, you know, putting money where it's important.
So the Executive Director of the UN Population Fund, UNFPA, Dr. Natalie Kanem, has stressed the need to include women and girls in the creation and design of technology. So he spoke yesterday in Abuja during the celebration of this year's International Women's Day, according to the statement obtained by the news agency of Nigeria. And he was saying that when women and girls are included in the creation and design of technology, there is a world of potential for innovation and promotes gender equality and benefits society as a whole. And in contrast, excluding women comes at a very high cost. He also said that women and girls in the creation and advancement of technology is key to ensuring the safety, usability, and inclusivity of digital tools and products. And with that in mind, this was what was bordered about around the celebration of the International Women's Day. They went ahead to give a survey. They were reeling out numbers of different countries. They said 14,000 girls aged 15, 25, and 22 in countries including Nigeria has shown that more than half, 58% of the girls have been harassed or abused online. They talked about the gender abuse that has been going on as well. So we need to do a lot more to make sure that everybody has equality.
The Punch. INEC shifts governorship assembly polls by 1 week. Sanwo-olu orders probe as Buhari sympathizes with market fire victims. Roadblock, robbers attack Punchman as soldiers extort Ogun motorists. Niger, terrorists kill 5 villagers, abduct 53. Yogua left out as reps-elect get certificate of return. National Assembly female membership drops as 11 lose re-election. Long queue queues ground Abuja and neighboring states. Naira, Buhari can be prosecuted after May 29, says SAN. Okay, let me start with the shops that burnt in Lagos. Really sad, a 65-year-old security guard was shot dead by 6 hoodlums. They came to the market in Kiriki, Olode Apapa in Ajegunle area of Lagos State. And these 6 men accosted, they went to the marketplace. The security guard tried to stop them, but they went back to get guns and killed him in cold blood. Then there was a young man, Ukochukwu Maduka, was one of the traders that lost millions in that fire. Another trader, his name is Collins. He said he lost about 3 million naira worth of goods because he sells his stuff for 1,000 naira to their bookies for the spare parts. It was a spare parts market. Another trader, Kelechi, said that he got to know that the shops and markets were on fire about 4 a.m. and he had to go around there to go and see, and he realized that his own shop too was on fire. The president has expressed his condolences to the family, the victims. The governor of the state also has gone there and he has obviously condemned the act because there's no way we can keep deliberately burning people's property, hard-earned money. You know, this is unacceptable, and he has assured that they will provide better security for those who have lost their properties and all that. So the other candidates also tried to use that they went there to also commiserate with.
Did anybody talk about arresting the perpetrators?
I didn't get that. I didn't get that in this article.
You know that today is my no emotional day. So a lot of people have been saying this was politically motivated. Yeah. They were alleging the party thugs were the ones behind it. Can we have a proper investigation and see if it was a crime done by justice?
This is what the governor has promised, that proper investigation will be carried out. Exactly. And then we'll now know if the perpetrators, and whoever is found guilty will be definitely prosecuted properly. Any other story?
Yes. So there's this report that 100 of motorists and residents plying the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to go about their movements around Orime Rumu community in the Obafemi Owode. Don't correct me, you mess up people names here. Owode local government area.
Don't let me finish.
Of Ogun State. So they are complaining that they've been subjected to traumatizing tortures by the fact that the soldiers will mount up roadblocks, make traffic very difficult for them just to collect money. They are not interested in searching or making sure that there are no criminals around. And then because there are roadblocks there, the traffic is usually very slow, and then hoodlums take advantage of that to begin to rob people. So this has been happening from time to time. It's been Punch had carried out investigation. Unfortunately for them, a Punchman, Olaliko Ade Tayo, on Monday was returning from work around 12 midnight, ran into the gridlock induced by the soldiers that were extorting money. Before he realized what was happening, there were hoodlums around his vehicle asking him to come down. They wanted to get money from him. He didn't have money to give to them. He refused. They were threatening him with machetes. They wanted to take his phone. And this has been ongoing. So this is a call to the police, security agencies to ensure that that road is being checked on. Those soldiers who mount those roadblocks, they need to be checked and asked why they do that without really checking the roads.
Yeah, I have a sad story from Niger State. It says 6-month-old. A pregnant woman, a 6-month-old, and 5 other persons have been allegedly killed by terrorists who invaded a community, Agua community in Rafi local government area of Niger State. They said this happened Tuesday. Eyewitnesses said that these terrorists just came in shooting sporadically. They abducted about 50 persons. They said that they had said when they came in, they're shooting, people, were running away because of that. And luckily for them, there were these soldiers that were on routine patrol who got there and outpowered the bandits who left with the 50 people that they abducted and the 6 people that were killed in the wake. And also another community, Beji community in Boso local government of the state as well, had bandits come into their community, invaded them, shooting. When people heard the shooting, they were all running away, running into the bushes. They said they did this for 2 hours. Unfortunately, in their own community, there was no response from any of the security apparatus there, and that was how they were shot. They said a woman and 2 daughters were abducted by the bandits, and also a male tenant of the house was abducted, but he was able to escape during the...
All right, let's go on a quick break. When we come back, continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. One more story in Punch.
So I have the House of Reps. So INEC has given certificates of return to about 325 members of the House of Reps, which is about leaving some other areas on elections undone yet. And they said that out of these 325, the name of the winner for Akoko Southwest Federal Constituency of Ondo State, Adegboyega Adefarati, was missing on the INEC list because he had he was not issued his certificate of return because he had a court order remanding, an injunction stopping INEC from proceeding with declaring. They said that the primaries that presented him was voided in Ondo State, and so they are in the Federal High Court presently. So there's a court order saying retain status quo. And the House of Reps member for Dogowa Tundunwada constituency in Kano, Ado Dogowa, was not in the list. He was also missing. He was not issued his certificate of return. And we all know why, because I've been taking it every day. And this is because he's currently being prosecuted by the police on 6-count charge bordering on culpable homicide, causing grievous hurt, mischief of by firearm, and inciting disturbances.
Right.
He was the one who was said to have incited people to thugs to set on fire the office of the new Nigerian People's Party in Tundunwada, where 2 people were also burned to death. And so he's facing his own case right now.
Haley Son, INEC shifts Goba State Assembly post to March 18th. Gunmen attack Imo PDP Assembly candidate, raise houses and vehicles. Confusion as banks issue and reject 500 and 1,000 naira notes. 10 Senate group calls for zoning of Senate presidency to Southeast. FG revokes work permit and visa for Seplat CEO for alleged racism, discrimination against Nigerians. IPAC Atiku Group endorsed Rivers PDP candidate. Atiku engaged Kazama, Uzekome, Osoro, and others to fight case at the tribunal. And PDP formally withdraws from the Enugu East senatorial contest. Let me start with the story with the government that attacked the PDP assembly candidate. So, barely yesterday, or I think it was yesterday morning, about 2 p.m., they stormed the PDP candidate's compound in a Sienna Toyota vehicle at about 2 p.m. And the sources revealed that they came, about 7 of them came in, and they began to destroy property. Describing the incident, said that Ozioma, the name of the person is People's Democratic Party member, Okigwe constituency, Mr. Ifeanyi Ozionema. So he was saying, describing the incident, said that he was shocked over the ugly developments, said it was through the grace of God that his entire household were able to escape, and even his aged parents were able to escape the burning and attack, unprovoked attack. He said that the incident was barbaric, inhumane, and he called on security agencies for adequate security and to investigate and ensure the perpetrators are apprehended as soon as possible. Really, really sad stories. Aged parents had to run for their lives, and it was an attack. They drove into his compound at 2 p.m. and just started burning and destroying property. Really painful.
Yes, I have money. Yes. Okay. Go.
Okay, so I have the case of the CEO of Seplat Energy.
That's the story you take.
Of course, that's the story I'll take. So the Minister for Interior, Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, has revoked the visa and residence permit of the Chief Executive Officer of Seplat Energy PLC, Mr. Roger Brown, over allegations of racism, preference of foreign workers, and discrimination against Nigerian employees leveled against him by workers of his company. They had written a petition to the ministry. They had also gone to the Federal High Court on this issue, and he was summoned by the minister and the ministry to come to see if they could mediate in the matter, and he, because he's a Igbo man, refused to show up.
That's what he said.
I didn't know.
Just saying.
I didn't know because
No, because
but I'm happy.
actions speak
I'm happy
louder
that
than
they are
words.
fighting for
so
Nigerians.
There's a petition against him about racism.
Okay.
You were summoned in a sovereign nation to appear before the ministry, and you say you are too busy. You wrote a letter back saying he was too busy, and he was seen in Abuja carrying on business as usual. So they've revoked his residency, and they say that he's continues staying in Nigeria is contrary to national interest. I'm completely with the minister on this.
Of course, they can't take him to the airport and deport him.
They should even enforce it and if
they can't until
he's ready
as
to
a company
do business in this country.
Nigerians, yes, the Nigerians have been employed in that company.
Over
So we don't take drastic
the company
action.
have not closed.
Yes, we just
If
saying.
the CEO whose residency was revoked, he should do the right thing to operate a business here.
You're right. Yeah, I agree with you.
Mr. Roger Moore, please go. Roger Moore, right?
Roger, whatever, Brown.
Brown, because I thought that's a Hollywood actor.
Yeah,
Anyways,
007.
we have our banks. We know the issue of the Supreme Court saying that, old notes are, would continue to be in legal tender, but we have Nigerians having different experiences with the banks. They say that the banks were paying them the old Naira notes, but then they realized that when they go out, I took that yesterday, when they go out, people would not collect, businesses would not collect the monies from them. So they've now gone back to the bank to say, let me deposit this money. Bank say, we are not collecting. So, so it's like, what is happening here? As of the time of this report, there's no response from the CBN yet. I'm just taking the human angle because Nima has taken the policy angle, so we'll hear from
the man said he had 5,000 Naira old notes, which he got from the bank in his pocket. The bus driver didn't take it. He had to walk home. So I have money in my pocket. I couldn't just take a transport to my house.
There's a businessman who said that.
We're used to somebody telling us, okay, now you can go ahead and obey a court order. There's a court order. Everybody, I told somebody, I gave somebody 7,000.
No, but they did.
Oh, no, she didn't take it.
So what is Nigerians are saying is that we took the money we are going to spend, but the businesses are saying we're not collecting. One business owner said, the reason I'm not collecting, he said, you see the money that I have now, the old Naira notes, before I was able to give it, deposit it at CBN, the portal. They said they still haven't even sent him an alert to show how much he's deposited yet. They said it will take a few weeks. So to have to go through that problem,
this whole thing just caused confusion. Nigeria.
Very bad policy, no planning.
Execution was poor. Our final paper, Vanguard, I believe. Let's see a story we've not taken. My life now in grave danger. Abia Rec cries out. Court okays INEC request to reconfigure BVAS. Workers' welfare, labor, Imo government flex muscles. One killed, others injured as fire raises 200 shops in Lagos spare parts. Fix BVAS glitches before government assembly. NBA tells INEC. You'll take most of the stories there.
Yeah, I have a story inside though.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so as part of its contributions to celebrate International Women's Day, Google has announced 3 new initiatives to empower 15 women entrepreneurs in Africa and provide them with the resources needed to succeed. So they said they picked 15 startups selected for the program from Nigeria and 7 African countries, and they're going to be creating innovative solutions to improve livelihoods in their communities. So the head of Startups Ecosystem Africa at Google, Folarin, said the initiatives include the Google for Startups, Accelerator Africa, Women Founders Cohort, the Hustle Academy for Women, led SMEs, and a social media series celebrating inspiring women in Africa's technological sector. He said they are thrilled to announce the selected startups for the inaugural class of our Google Startup Accelerator Africa Women Founders Cohort. And these women are going to be tackling some of Africa's most pressing challenges, and they are excited to support them as they build the future. So they are going to be training them. It's more like a boot camp where these African women from different African countries will come together, and Google will train them, mentor them, help them to grow their businesses in their different African countries. This is a very good one for women in tech.
Yes. Congratulations. All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review. When we come back, we'll take some reports from the accident that happened between a bus and a moving train in Lagos at the old, the Old Works Road at the PWD bus stop area. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. This morning, we woke up to a really, really horrible story that happened in Lagos State. A bus trying to cross over the train tracks got rammed into by the train. This happened in the early hours of this morning, and we'll have on the phone now the Director General of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Oluwafemi Oke-Osanitule, to give us an update on the rescue mission that's been started this morning. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show. So we were hearing reports that this was a staff bus. Could you confirm that, please?
Yes, it is a staff bus. A staff bus that is fully loaded, a luxurious bus. While crossing the railway crossing at PWUG, there was an accident that involved that luxurious bus with a moving train. And when the incident occurred at 7:20 a.m., we activated our emergency response plan under the watch of Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olusola sanwo-olu, and we are able to rescue a lot of people, and they are receiving adequate treatment at Lagos State Teaching Hospital, and we recovered 2 bodies. We have completed the rescue operation. We are now in the recovery phase. And I can assure the good people of Lagos State that we are on top of the challenges. And not only that, our operation swift, prompt, effective, and efficient.
All right, let's get a few more questions in for you, sir. Go ahead.
If I just need clarity, did I hear 2 bodies? Did 2 people die?
Yeah, 2 bodies, yes. 2 people died. We covered 2 bodies.
Okay, what have you determined is the cause of the accident?
You know, this is a rescue and operation going on. After we might have finished, then we will do a holistic investigation. Then we will be able to tell the good people of Lagos State what really causes this incident.
Okay, I would just like to know for the unfortunate, the people that lost their lives, and I'm also assuming that there were other injured people. Is there a particular hospital they've already been taken to that families can go and, look for their loved ones?
They have been taken to the Lagos State Teaching Hospital, where they are receiving adequate treatment. All hands are on deck.
Now, let's talk about the driver. Was he apprehended, or did he run away, or is he alive? What happened? Was he able to be arrested for?
I think the driver is among the casualties that are receiving treatment.
Okay, so he's alive. All right. This is a really...
Hello?
Yes,
so
sir.
Please tell the good people of Lagos State that we are on top of the challenges, and help us tell them that the people, the crowd, should leave the place at the scene to allow us to perform our job.
Yeah.
We have a lot of crowd here.
Thank you very much, sir. I think they've heard you loud and clear. The truth is that when disaster happens, many people always crowd around it, but they forget that the rescue mission must occur.
But the rescue mission is supposed to work hand in hand with the police, who are supposed to help cordon off the area and keep people away from the situation. So we'll talk to Nigerians, but also let the police get in there and work
As quickly as they can.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Oke-Osanitule, for giving us an update on that. This is one of those stories that we hate because sometimes, as you said, investigations haven't been carried out yet, but from empirical observation, you can see that you shouldn't be on the train tracks in the first place. So we can suggest reckless driving on the part of the driver, maybe trying to see if he can quickly cross over before the train comes. But we also hear that the train honks.
Yeah.
At least for a while, as it's approaching you, So, maybe he thought he could go fast, forgetting that you're not a small car, you're a bus. Very long
What
bus.
speed? So I usually take that road. I've taken that road for years because that Ikeja along is where I was navigating from Alagbado. And I realized that when Nigerians get to the train tracks, there's always this hurry, I can beat this.
Yes.
They hear the honk, but they feel the calculation, I can beat this, and then they dare in. But, sometimes if there's that barricade that they usually put, that would tell people to stay away, and you see people shouting, move back. But other times, those people are not there to do that move, especially at the early hours of the morning when people are going to work. They've not resumed to do the move back. So Nigerians should be able to take responsibility.
Right.
a little patience
Thank
can
you
just
for
save us from
that
this.
barricade, because the truth is that on both sides of the track, there should be a barricade that goes up and down like this.
Yeah.
So when there's a train coming, the barricade should close. So nobody should be recalculating like a crossover. So that is another issue that we must ensure that people don't toil with these things. Sometimes government will put some
I don't
infrastructure
even know
and
how
will destroy
drivers
sometimes.
try to drive so fast past over the tracks. My anxiety is highest. I mean, when I'm in the car, the driver is my neck, I'm looking down to see if a train is coming, you know. And that particular track runs through Yaba, and that's where I drive across. And it runs through just before a traffic light, so there's usually also traffic on top of that track. I do not like that because I'm always wondering what happens if a train is coming and there's a red light and there's heavy traffic and I just don't like that. I don't know how it is on the particular axis that this happened, but I know that that particular spot, I would like for government to find something to do about that. God forbid, but I feel like it's an accident waiting to happen. But I do know that you'd hear like a bell ringing.
Right.
And there used to be a time, but I don't see it anymore. Maybe I've just not paid attention anymore. But I used to see someone, when the train would be coming, the person will come, he will raise a flag,
Red flag.
right? And then they'll pull down that barricade. And, you know, it will stop cars from moving. But I don't see that as often. You hear the train coming and I don't see any barricade or anybody raising a flag. So that has to be
they've already tampered with most of those barricades.
Yes.
So, except for the areas in Yaba, I don't see the gates anymore. And you know Nigerians, they go lose and carry the iron and run away. So on that along Ikeja side of the train, you will not see sometimes those barricades iron. It's no longer there. You can see the post holding it, but you won't see it. And this train only goes on a trip daily. From Ijoko all the way to Ido. After in the afternoon around 2:04, from Ido back to Ijoko, trip has ended. The timing is setting daily.
People should know.
People should know. So it's either this bus failed brake and jumped over the BRT because it's a BRT bus. It has a BRT barricade on that express. Either he jumped it into that train, but the train is always innocent.
But because
all
it's a staff bus, I'm assuming we can actually know who the driver is. He can be prosecuted. And then also the employer or whoever had rented this will also be questioned. What kind of training did you give your drivers? I mean, these are
Except
questions.
it was really an accident. With a failed brake, you can come with a speed and jump over.
So
at the wrong
investigation
time.
has, because now we have the MD of the BRT here, so this is probably one of his staff with them. We don't know. So these are things that needs to be properly investigated and we know, because somebody must take responsibility.
So painful, this
This
early
is such a
morning.
painful, and our hearts go out to those who died. May their soul rest in peace. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, move on to our other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. Join us on the show right now is an IT professional and also a chieftain of the APC. We have with us Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed. He'll be speaking to us on what the president-elect's role would be, especially to bring in the nation's economy, to build the nation's economy, and how his reign would affect the general Nigerians and the Nigerian youth. Welcome to the show, sir.
Welcome. Thank you.
So we know you're an IT professional, and technology is one area that helps governance. You know, one of the pride that Lagos has is the fact that they're able to increase revenue, and they did that through using technology, Oracle. So we understand the role it plays in development, in reducing cost of governance and all that. How do you think the president-elect would work to use technology to enable economic growth for us?
You know, whenever I'm asked a question with respect to Nigeria, I always want to delve into history and now bring you up to speed. Okay. You know, I use myself as an example. I was raised in Lagos, trained in Lagos, started programming in Lagos, 1995. You know, and there was this Lagos City Computer College over there. So, you know, that kind of thing. When I finished secondary school, I just went into it. Then I went to the north to learn how to write program in terms of first degree. Did my first degree in Bauchi. Then I stayed in the north after finishing. Since then, bye-bye to Lagos. Yeah, you know. So the reason why I'm giving you that history is I saw Lagos embracing technology, but the explosion in technology did not happen until when democracy came in 1999. So when the president-elect was the governor of Lagos. So what they did then was to create an enable environment that will bring Computer Village, be a kind of IT capital of Nigeria in buying and selling of computer equipment. But it's not like it was created by them. It was they created as an enable environment to allow people to coexist, to do the right thing and get things done. And one of the things they needed, because laptop, you know, is one of the key things, is to create security. Because if there's no security in the government, there is no way be able to now have anything done. Okay, so now all I'm trying to say is the technology had been used to develop Lagos, like you said, as a result of the vision that the government has to delve into the technological world. And also, when you now compare to present, there's serious developments in the area of IT in the entire world. Microsoft, not long ago, saw our citizens shipping in code into a place called GitHub, where coders would now realize there's a traffic in Saudi Arabia, traffic in China, also traffic in Nigeria and Bangladesh. They came to Nigeria and invested about $200 million here in Lagos, and they say here in Lagos. As a result of that enablement that was been done by the continuity of the government of Lagos, which happened to be APC government or Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government or inheritance of the good governance they had in the last 23 years. So now the same philosophy will also be adopted in this particular administration that we're about to experience, whereby people will be given an opportunity to see what they could be able to drive from what is moving the world further. And information is a key to everything that we're doing, right? And data is also a key to everything that we're doing. Nigeria today, we're trying to delve into technological world, but so you go to bank, you do transfer, they'll tell you no network, no this, no that. But for the fact that in Lagos is a hub where all those things is being done, that same extension of what Lagos is will also be now created around Nigeria. Okay. So I totally believe that with the team that this present administration being elected will constitute, it's not all about business as usual, whereby, okay, I know the government, I'm going to forward my name, this, that. No, it's all about what do you have on the table? What can you give back to the country? And that's the reason why all of us, we did not look at religion, we did not look at language, we did not look at ethnicity, we look at cohesion that we had in Lagos. To say, I was raised in Lagos and there was no separation in whether I was Hausa, Yoruba, or Igbo, right? And I was able to learn and evolve and become a professional software developer. Like the software we design today is cutting across 250 million lives. Just say it's serious.
So if I understand you, you're just trying to say that because of the legacy of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Lagos as regards IT, you feel that this is something that will be replicated across Nigeria once he is inaugurated and he becomes the president of the country. So you're saying in that field of IT, you saw him do something for Lagos, and you see you're hoping that that is what we're going to see across Nigeria.
Yes, he's a leader, whereby he understands what his people really required. You understand? So he's not a type that he's not a dumb person that you just come and say will do it. He'll first understand that technology is the way to go around it.
Yes.
And he's a mathematician also, you know.
Okay, so I get that. So now people are watching, youths especially, and being an IT professional, I would just like to say, like, what exactly do you think, like, you went to the north, you went to school in Bauchi, what would be different that they would see, in the IT space going forward? When it comes to training, when it comes to more materials, when it comes to job creation, what are we expecting to see?
I always use our company as an example. We're part of this team.
Okay.
What I mean by is we have potentiality of helping. Because we help in terms of telling you there's a dangerous situation about this and that because of the data that we study, right? So we also help as government in the sense that all we means is a team player. Is a great leader, is a team player, and he listens. So all I'm trying to say is, for the young ones coming up, the enable environment has already been created, right? So instead of us concentrating on our export of crude oil all the time, we'll do knowledge export now, knowledge economy, in the sense that our programmers now get work done for people living outside Nigeria without even traveling. So now the hub of maybe software development will be extended beyond Lagos. That's that kind of a thing. Okay. Like in Ogun State now, there's a hub for software development. In Ogun State, Lenya.
So in the north, you're hoping we would see something like that?
We also have a little, but now we need expansion.
Okay, fantastic.
So you're the convener of the 100% focus movement.
Yes.
And as that group was, instrumental to the outcome of the elections for the president-elect, what would you say should be his goal, aside IT now? What should he focus on going forward as he gets into office?
Nigeria has a lot of problems. We do know that, right? And one of the things that is affecting us today is because maybe leaders now, presently, do not listen to people, right? You know what's going on now. They've got misinformed and they stick by the people that are misinforming them. So, but Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not stick to that, to just get so-called, they call them cabal, right? To just sit in the villa, they'll be telling him. He's not going to do that, right? He's going to sit down with the team that he's going to build, and he'll be well informed and be able to rule Nigeria better. So what I'm saying is, apart from IT, you see we have security issue, we have health issue, we have infrastructure issues such as road transportation issue. When you look at transportation in terms of airlines, they need support, like Eric and Airpace and the rest of them. They need support from the government. We have the numbers. So why can't we invest in the airline business? Can't we become the hub of West Africa in terms of moving goods from one place to another? And our pilots are equally good, but they need someone to support them. Eric is derailing. So government needs to rescue that. When it comes to also transportation, rail needs to be everywhere. So by the time it goes into the rail project, creates a good rail system, people that ordinarily will sit at home will have work to do because the entire Nigeria is connected. But mind us, 4 years is not enough to fix Nigeria. We need to have a blueprint of fixing Nigeria for next 30 years. It's done in Lagos. It could be repeated for the entire country. So definitely when it comes to power, by God's grace, May 29th this year, that team already has been set up like 6-7 months ago. Do you know that will move Nigeria go? Because they know, like, we'll get to the power and start thinking who's going to be our minister. We spend 3 months, 4 months thinking. That's not going to happen. Already, the bunch of talented, the bunch energetic people are waiting. He's even overqualified. He has overqualified people. There will be competition in selection. It's just like you're Brazilian now. You know how to play football and you want to play for the A team of Brazil. You end up not playing. So we have so much in Nigeria. It's all about allocation of resource.
Right. Okay. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue that conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest with us, Dr. Ibrahim. Yes, Bisi had a question.
Yeah, so, a lot of people want to hear the practicals of everything you have just said. Nigerians want to hear, how does this benefit me as a human being? We have issues of data in our country. When we go to the bank, they will say, come and do your NIN, come and do your BVN, come and do your MMM, come and do your... You keep for the same information that they could have just gotten from one portal to another, you keep redoing and redoing over and over again. Now, technology is supposed to help
unify.
Yes, unify those data. What is the plan, the practical plan to help us at least make it seamless, unify the data so that once an organization has my BVN, I don't need to go and be thumb printing again. I don't need to do another NIN. I don't need to do another form of registration. I don't need to do another SIM registration. It just moves from one portal to another. Is there any plan like that?
Yeah, there should be. There must be. The reason why is we're also a victim of all these things, all of us. The sense that if you want to do a passport now in Nigeria, they will say NIN has not dropped. I say, what's the meaning of that? Dropping from where? Is it not to query the system and get the feedback? So you now have to go to backdoor, find a way and make your NIN be pushed to immigration. And that is wrong. It's supposed to be the way you query a banking application to check Zenith Bank from Axis Bank. That's how that verification of your fingerprint should be done. So maybe the policymakers are the ones, or bureaucracy of a cross-agency protocol. I want to be the one leading. I want to be so that kind of bureaucracy. Our president-elect said it. He was going to cut bureaucracy. You know, something that's supposed to be done with 10 steps, 2 steps will be issued. And sometimes again, for instance, now recently there's a court injunction that said, okay, all Naira notes should be brought back. But still, CBN is not responding.
Dr. Mohammed, you just talked on something very important. So there's a human factor with the NIN thing.
Yes.
When you go for your passport, you know they drop.
Yes.
It might not drop in weeks, but it can miraculously drop if you pay some money in Abuja. What exactly can you do if you are asked to work with the president-elect to stop that human factor thing? What can you do in technology-wise that, you know, we could catch and curb this corruption that is happening with the system?
You see, like I said, the banks have already done it. You can just go to Axis Bank and now get information of information of Guarantee Trust easily. The only thing you hear, network is now, your bank is not available. So it's the same thing, it's API, that's what it's called. API will be developed and shared across all the cross agencies. So VIO will get it, Federal Road Safety will get it, and
so we can have all our data consolidated.
Yes, in one place. And you know, one funny thing about our country today is you only get to be known by the government when you have passport. Like our children now, may God help them, they don't even know they exist.
No.
Because the data is offline. Unless if you're able to go to say you want to do international passport, that means you're able to travel.
Right.
Or else you're not going to do that. So one of the things is we go back to the grassroots. All the data from primary school and those that are not going to school need to be captured. That's supposed to be
that's really good to know, and I'm happy that these are some of the plans that you're proposing, or you hope that the president-elect will adopt once he becomes president. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
for coming on our show. We appreciate you. We'll be speaking to Dr. Ibrahim Mohammed. He's an IT professional and also a chieftain of the APC, and he was just giving us some tidbits of what the president-elect will do when he becomes president. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go on a break now. When we come back and bring in our next guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We have with us the lawmaker representing Surulere Constituency 1, Honorable Olushola Desmond Elliot, to give his account of stewardship on how he has represented the good people of Surulere in the last 8 years, revisiting the never-ending Enza saga, and others. You can call us on the show, 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you.
So let me ask you the basic question a primary school student will ask you. Why do you want to be re-elected into office?
Firstly, because I think it's our time to add our voices to development and growth. And another reason is the fact that we have work we started, and development is in continuum, and there are lots of work to be done. It's something very exciting to me, something I love doing, and giving service to people. I mean, I could never think of anything else other than putting myself out there for service. So I've been able to touch lives, bless lives in the little way I could.
Tell us a few things you've done so far.
Oh, a few. I'll start with the medical health sector. Firstly, and the one that's very prominent in my mind would be the medical and surgical program that we held, where we helped a lot of women, who had fibroids and issues with the womb, breast cancer, and men with hernia and stuff like that. It was huge, and we do that periodically in the society. I can't handle everything alone because of the resources, so I tend to always partner with corporate organizations in making sure that this comes to pass. And also, I must add, doctors from Lagos State University of Lagos, Luth. They were able to help out a lot, and they did it pro bono as well.
Okay.
So you had quite a number of controversies.
Controversies.
Yeah. They dragged let me not use the word that came to my head now on live TV. They dragged you, Sha, like generator, they were dragging you.
But the J on, Sha.
He on. But they dragged you.
No particular.
So do you think that people expected more because they had seen you as someone who was supposed to represent the youth, and they wanted you to help champion their cause? And when it seemed like you were not giving them what they wanted, we have this energy, let's just go and scatter, sharp.
Yeah.
And you were not in that space to go and gym the way they wanted, that could have led to the dragging.
Mm-hmm.
And you would want more patience right now so that you can. So what you mentioned that you have done now is something I am just hearing.
Mm-hmm.
But we hear more of the negatives because the youth are expecting more. What do you think they should expect from you?
Oh, so firstly, I pledge allegiance to the youth. And that's the first thing. I mean, whether we like it or not, that's what it is. Because you have to open up to them. You have to let them know. And to humanity and to Nigerians, as a whole. Am I concerned about the dragging? In a way, yes, and in a way, no. Yes, because it's not the truth about me that is being told out there. But I don't think I should overburden myself in trying to over-explain over and over again who this person is. Nobody's perfect. People make mistakes. And then sometimes the truth might not be acceptable, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't say the truth when you have to. So I'm just caught within that part of this is what I have to do. So I'll probably say this is what I have done. I have touched lives. So rather than look at the things I haven't done, what about the things I have done to have touched people, to have blessed people, to have promoted people's lives? Because that's what humanity is about, really.
Right.
Okay, so I would like to ask about expectations still, because for me, I feel that when it comes to conversations about what we expect politicians, we may miss it with the legislators, the legislators. And could you help, just the lay Nigerian, what your job description is?
For some reason, unfortunately, or incidentally, not unfortunately, I happen to be the center of that discourse in terms of what has he done.
Yes.
Till this morning. This morning, I came out of my house and I met my neighbor and I'm like, can I count on your vote? And she said to me, what have I done? The job, Uncle. And my poster was just in front of me. I said, look at it. Legislator. I do not create jobs.
I do not build.
That's what I need some clarity
build
because
roads.
Nigerians, that was my next question to you.
Yes.
Your role as a legislator, maybe you should help us
I am
remind
a
Nigerians.
representative.
Good.
I'm a state rep. I am meant to represent my people.
Yes.
When there are job opportunities, instead of getting them 2, I get them 12, I get them 20. When there is a need to go and meet NIMASA, NPA, somebody is in jail, like what happened during NSAS, I go there. It is me. These are my people. I have to represent you. I have to speak for you. I do that all the time. Case in point, light.
Yes.
In the last 8 years, before 8 years, light and NEPA in Surulere was the worst, at least.
Can attest.
Huh?
She can attest.
Still is.
Look at it today. You
still
cannot
complaining.
call, no, it's way better.
Yeah.
Well,
Way
compared-
better.
Yes.
She does say
Because you cannot talk about electricity supply in Surulere and my name will not be mentioned.
So let me pause you for a second.
Yes.
So imagine now, Mariam comes to you, complains, I don't have electricity, right?
Yes.
You take that issue to the house.
No, I take it to, in this case, Eco Disco.
Eco Disco,
First
yes.
and foremost,
Why would
make
Eco Disco listen to you?
because I am the rep.
It's our class.
Firstly. Secondly, is the relationship.
Right.
I must build a relationship with the people
Right.
so that when I call, there's some form of mutual respect. And kudos to them because I know
kudos to them.
they have resources, they have issues as well, but they're doing everything within their means. I had to take a case. Surulere is deprived. I made sure more than half of Surulere has prepaid meters today. As we speak, there is currently, and I don't think any state assembly member, and I make bold to say this, today has ever said, I am facilitating a 20 MVA injection power station, substation. It's happening at Randall. It's taking me almost 7 years for that to go. The present governor, who was MD, LSDPC, gave that in my name, the land, because it was a mechanic village. We so had to split it. He gave it to me. I gave the mechanics 5 million just to, say, look and not shout. Personal funds, and then started moving. So I'm working with Eco Disco, working with the contractor, who actually it could have been completed, but there's foreign exchange problems. So the transformer is ready, but it's just to go pay. They've paid part of it, but they haven't gotten the remaining funds to pay. So we're also going to have money of problems of what do you call when the thing has passed. So we're having that issue as well. So I am proud to be doing all of these things, and it's going to be a legacy.
Okay. So well done. And since you made bold to say, I can tell you, my own legislator did not do anything in concern lighting.
Who is your legislator, if I
Don't
may
worry,
ask?
don't worry.
You see?
I will not mention his name. I don't want to do more than that. But you, Chairman House Committee on Environment, and as a result, you according to this, that your work that you have done so far, you said that you facilitated effective clearing of 4 canal system in that passes through Surulere Constituency. But on this, you should have been working for the entire Lagos, because as Chairman House Committee on environment of the entire Lagos, not just your constituency.
Exactly.
So I would like to see whether it is a duty that you see beyond your constituency when you get to the House, because of this confusion about whether legislators can do anything beyond lawmaking.
Okay, so
Now, as the powers that come with a committee member, what could you have influenced beyond
Across the state.
Across the state, beyond
so
that?
if you firstly let me say, because this is appealing to Surulere, I had to tell them what I am doing in Surulere. You understand? So, and Surulere has a lot of canals passing through. Especially major canals. We have 2 major. It's called System 4 and System 5. The one that passes through Ikwarin, Alaka, and the one that passes through Babs and Imashao, which is System 5. So I had to let them know that when you see them clearing this thing regularly, even though Lagos State knows it has to do it, I ensure that it passes through. If you compare it to how it used to be before, where you see a lot of overflooding and all that, it's drastically reduced. Of course, I don't have to put up and say, Desmond is the one doing this. Sometimes you see me on site, but I just had to let them know. Now, because the rains will be coming up soon, as soon as we're done with the elections, I have to make sure they come and do that again. And you're right. it's part of my job to make sure it's being cleared. We were part of the people who made sure that there were funds and funding for LOMA to be able to get more vehicles. You know, we made sure we created that purse. It's my job to make sure we create the purse for LOMA to work with. It's the executive's job to make sure they implement. And it's my job to remind them of the fact that these things need to be done. That's not to say all has been done. It's a work in progress. But yes, the administration of Babajide Olusola Sanwo-olu has already created, provided a lot of vehicles. They're still doing more. Now, my next plan now, which we're creating, is how we can move from our dump sites into our major landfills, you know, at the outskirts of Lagos. And that's what we're working towards.
In this night assembly, you've passed over 15
years. That's the next
Yes.
question I was going to ask.
Yes.
Ms. Kojo, quite a lot.
No,
We work.
So we see them. So I know that they will now become laws that maybe only lawyers would know, because you know, they would research the law and find where to hide their clients or help a case. How are you bringing to the knowledge of your people these laws
Things
exist?
that you have done.
So, due to the magnanimity and the intelligence of Mudashiru Ajayi Obasa, we do what we call quarterly engagements. They call them stakeholders meetings. We do that. No, but
Publicity of law.
no, but to be very precise, for the past few months that we've been going out, we have realized that there is a need to even go deeper. There's a need to communicate even better.
Yes.
Especially with the kind of work we're doing. And it's not just me. I've had it across. Oh, okay, you did this. You need to communicate more. You need to explain to us more. So we are devising means on how we can reach out.
I want to talk about funding.
Yes.
People think that you have so much money. It's not
Yes.
Desmond. He has money. Come and do
Thank
this. Desmond,
you.
you didn't do this. You didn't go. Where do you get your funding from? Is it
Salary.
Wait, is this state government gives you a special?
No.
You know how they give them in the federal constituency project?
I can't
So,
speak for federal.
so tell us how much
I
you
can't
get.
speak for federal,
Yes.
but I'll speak for state.
Yes, how much are
I'll
they
speak
doing?
for Lagos State.
Yes.
I can't tell you how much on national TV,
course.
but we're only based on salary and what we get once every 3 months for upkeep of the office and make sure we pay salaries and blah, blah, blah. That's
There's
it.
no constituency money that
There
goes
is
all this
no-
road that you are building, all this thing you're
Thank
doing. How are you getting the
so,
money?
I have been able to do Suenu Road, which is in Surulere, Olumegbon Road, Anima Shao, Johnson, Simisola. These are roads you can go and look at. I mean, quite a number. I've been able to facilitate the building of the school. I did Olumegbon, yes. Ma'am, 8 years ago, I did it. Olumegbon, Suenu, they know.
I'm just surprised that
Don't be.
Finish
Now, why? Because that is representation.
Yes.
I was able to do,
what's the local government doing?
no, you see, you know what? Surulere is a unique local government. We all work together.
Right.
The speaker works, he does his bit, the chairman does his bit, I do my bit. You know, we all work together, you know. And then insurance. Now, who does health insurance?
Yes.
I have given 1,000, no, I'm not talking malaria and typhoid health insurance. So.
Lagos State Health Insurance?
No, I'm not talking malaria type. I'm talking
Paracetamol.
real comprehensive, very expensive
Insurance.
to 1,000 residents. Trust me, it's not easy. I had to partner with someone, I don't know if I'm allowed to call his name, you know, Dozie, you know, to say, come, my people are suffering, I can't handle this. And Dozie had to say, you know what, add this to what you have. And then we're doing 1,000. I've done prostate screening and treatment. Dozie treats them. So every time we do, we've done it in all, and we do it regularly in the constituency.
Honorable
So
Desmond.
we do this, ma'am, just to show people that this is not our core job, but just try and see that we're also helping executive. We're doing legislative/executive work.
So looking at what you have here,
Yes, ma'am.
it's quite impressive for a lawmaker, understanding what the limitations of your job, so to speak, and how Nigerians naturally will expect so much out of the bounds of what you're supposed to be given, especially because you're on TV, they've known you as a star before,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
even your personal money, just join it and make us happy, right?
Yeah.
But I think you did not utilize social media to your advantage.
Exactly.
The young people go with what they see.
What they-
If as you were putting down this your conquests and, you know, doing all the things that is needed to be done, and you are talking about it, initially it will look like it too talk safe, just walk the walk. We like the talk. We hear the talk. But now it seems like, okay, because of, I'm trying to remind you
Of what I did.
of what I've done, but there's a new hurricane that is, you know, going around now that people are not even paying attention anymore to what people have done. It's more sentiments and emotion. Don't you think that would affect your chance?
Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to divert and become more spiritual here than being physical. So I think all things work together for good. Plus the mistakes you've done, plus the good things you've done. That's why we are human beings. We're all meant to be unique. If I had all the ideas to make everything perfect, then I probably would have been God himself. So at the end of the day, I get you. I know what you've said. I've gotten a lot of my friends, genuine friends. Hey, in politics, you know they are not genuine friends. You'll be like, huh? So genuine friends come and say, you know what, my guy, okay, just like what you've said, I agree. So maybe I did it 1, 2, 3 times. People just kept pressing at you. And I'm like, you know what, let me just appeal to Surulere.
Yeah.
That's the truth, and that's what happened. When you put 1, 2, 3, you'll be like, is it just this or if you do? Now leave this what if you do. Come on. I'd be like, okay, you know what? Make a jejely. Maybe Surulere I'm supposed to handle. Let me just appeal and just do my job jejely. When time reach, maybe God will handle the thing. So
And I have to say,
I
as
take what you said.
a constituent of yours, that I see you on the streets. I see
Thank
you
you.
on the road.
Thank you.
You are there, and it will be on, yes, we understand the wave of social media, but I'm sure that all of us also understand the toxicity that abounds there, and that sometimes the truth is buried under false news and all sorts of criticisms. But for those of us that you represent, we see you and you will see us.
Oh.
That's so sweet. Yeah.
Now you're thinking oh my God, this is those bed free. Thank you so much.
So let's discuss. I mean, I know somebody touched on answers earlier, but let's just use this opportunity again, because people, they get blinded, by something, and because of that, they don't see anything else. So no matter what Desmond says, that ends StarTimes. I don't care whatever he has. Could you use the opportunity again to address what happened, what you're trying to do that day, and why it kind of worked against you?
Oh, wow. Okay, what I can say is, I think forgiveness is divine, really. And if anyone, no one owns it all.
Right.
Something can be your truth, and to another person, it might not be. Right. I don't think going back to bring out those sensitive moments and will do anything. I think at the end of the day, I apologized for, and I'm still apologizing to those who must have misconstrued what I said. I said I was taken by emotions, but at the end, it still didn't take away from the facts. The hatred is too much.
Yeah.
The polity, the hatred is too much. We're all built on love. We can change things by love. Not, I'm in politics now 8 years, and I still stand on the fact that love conquers all. Yeah. I've gone out in the streets, and people still curse at me.
Wow.
But I'm not afraid, I'm not ashamed, because they don't understand the stress that you go through. Yeah. And I pick it from their point of view, because someone just hoped that you could just help him or her. And at that point, you are stressed with so many things. So at the end of the day, it happened. I wasn't referring to everybody as children. Yes. It was the people that were on Mr. Speaker's handle, that were talking to Mr. Speaker, that I was referring to, and not everybody. But, and truly, they were teenagers when I clicked on those who were cursing at Mr. Speaker. And that's exactly what I said. But I'm sorry again. Okay. That's what politics teaches you. You must learn. You must. You can never be prideful. You can never buga in politics. Who you be? So you must humble yourself. If you want buga, go inside your dream and get weight. Lose weight when you're outside. Lose it.
Right, so we have to let you go. Thank you. Now there's lots of people on different tickets now, different parties.
Yes.
And
it's amazing.
It's interesting. Well,
and it's interesting.
I think so too. I think it's time for Nigerians to have options, but and your work must show. And once your work shows, you should be able to be re-elected.
And I must
But what
commend,
else- yeah.
and I must commend even the youth, because really, if you listen to the last part, which they don't show people, the last part of what I said the only way you can change is your PVC. Please, listen, just take a little time. You saw that part? I said it. I said it's not by hating on people, because our kids are reading those things, and they're learning things that may not, because you are angry. So let's all sell love and change this country by love. So we listen to the youth, and I'm telling you, your voices are there's no one who works in government now, whether it's a councillor, you know that the youth's voice has been heard.
All right, so let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll just maybe gist with you. Since we don't
I love to gist.
Let us have our
Please,
other things going
freedom
on.
from Dr.
Stay with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest with us, Honorable Desmond Elliot. Yes, go ahead. Mariam had a question for you.
Yes. So we have a few people that are accusing you of enjoying the work that Baja does in Surulere and taking it on as your own. Could you address that, please?
Okay, so yeah, I think more than half of Surulere says that to me. And usually I say something, I say, that's my mentor. That's my father. That's my Oga. He that dwelleth in the secret place abides under the shadow. I have to be under his shadow. That's to be honest. And he's done well in making sure that he encourages me. When he sees something I've done, he calls and says, well done, Desmond, well done. That's good, way to go. You know, though I think it's also largely unfair that you compare me, you know, to it's not you can't even begin to, you know, he's Baja, he's number 4, he's the speaker, he's boss. I am assembly, you know. I have the little 1, 2, 3 things I do in representation, and he's done largely, magnificently, great, and you know, I can only look up to him, but I don't think it's fair.
But you do work together, though.
Fantastic.
work together.
Well, sometimes he asks me. Maybe that's why they think that. He asks me to either go check on something, go do whatever it is sometimes. And when he's going for to commission, I definitely, because he's our leader, I have to. And the mentor, and I learned from him, you know. But then to say, look at what Baja has done and what's Desmond done,
Okay,
For many years,
I'm humbled.
now that you've mentioned it, that you know he's like you said, the 4th man in the entire thing.
Is the boss.
Is your Oga Patapata.
Oga.
And you've been 8 years in the House of Assembly.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the growth like? What's your plan, your future plan? Do you see him as someone as a role model you would like to become? Or you want to remain at the House of Assembly? And what are you doing?
So I think what
grow?
the speaker has been able to teach a lot of us who want to listen and learn is that at every stage you are in, don't ever stop. Keep pushing. And that's what I'm doing. Like me, I still have a lot of work I'm doing. There are many scholarships I've given that you want to stop it now. Just yesterday, I was at Alaka Estate, and a lady died, you know, with 3 kids. Who's going to take care of the kids? I couldn't take care. I wish I could handle the 3 children, but I took 1, you know. So I'm going to have to take him through school, from his JAM to his graduation, and if he doesn't, and make sure he gets a job. So are we going to impede these people from getting these opportunities because you don't like Desmond's face? You know, so
YouTuber here, Tinuke, says the truth is that lawmakers are not supposed to be undertaking projects in the community technically. They are supposed to be making laws and sponsoring various bills, but this just shows that you have gone beyond your scope, and people should see, you know, what you've put in. But we have a younger actor who is going to be running for the Labour Party.
Yes.
Are you threatened in the sense that both of you are in entertainment?
Same industry.
Same industry.
You've inspired it, obviously, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm happy I'm able to inspire him in my own constituency.
The young Shagro now.
Yes, young Shagro. I'm proud that he came up, and I, you know, like what they say, I wish him all the best, you know. Nothing but love, really. It's an industry that, and I've always encouraged younger people to get involved.
Yeah.
That's the reason, for instance, in the last few months. No, I always do it every year. I take a lot of people, I pick the not so good boys, like people tag them. I take people in public service, I take normal citizens, and I go abroad with them. We go for trainings. So in the last 8 months, we've gone to the UK with some,
Yeah.
and last 2 months, we went to Italy. So we attended courses. We just do like a week plus. We go attend courses. They get to see how things do. And I've been doing that steadily and consistently, you know, all through my period in. So we've gone to countries like America. We've gone to the US, to European countries, Germany and stuff. It's recorded 90% success. Some have been funny. But at the end of the day, it's a program that I've seen that, let me shock you. The one we went to in Italy, just a week. They came and they saw people begging.
Eye-opener.
This kind of thing happens
in
here.
Europe, you know, and they saw people begging.
It's about the exposure of the mind.
Yeah.
You expose them, and they go back home, and people look up to them. And again, people will always wish and say, you know what, I also want to be amongst those that will travel in the next few months. And I do that consistently. So what I've done is I've been able to, like they call it, open your passport. So anytime you want to go do any other travels,
And do it very
go.
easy.
Another one is you've gone for training, you use it to develop your mind, you help younger
Community.
youth.
Let's talk about
to
your
understand.
family and all that. How,
Family.
Yes. How
That woman,
how
they
did you
try, I beg,
carry
make we leave that one.
your wife?
No,
How
no,
has
no,
she been able to support you through all this entire journey?
No. If
have-
you really want to serve,
Yeah.
you need a wife that understands. If you really want to serve. So I say kudos, I say big thank you to Vicky. Baba Mai, thank you so much. She's huge support, so huge a support. Like, I mean,
Does she go around doing Yahoo speaker?
Yes.
no, she
Love
doesn't
like
go
that.
around doing it, but she makes sure that everything is on point.
Okay.
You know, she just does the background and
We have
makes sure
some
that you're
tips
doing
for
well. Make sure the home front is going okay. And then just says, keep doing your thing. I'm with you.
She gives
Are
you
you
your
really-
peace so that you can go and serve.
If you don't have that peace, so everybody can shout anything. But you see that home,
Very
if you
important.
don't have that peace. Hey.
I
Thank you.
Tributemi says,
Grateful.
I feel for Desmond Elliot. I feel his pain. It's not an interesting time to be a politician. A quiet revolution is ongoing. Unfortunately, I'm not sure the new entrants will do a better job. And she says she wishes you all the best in the upcoming elections.
Thank you.
I need to bring up that bridge again because it's something that is being used over and over. Even though you've been here before, you've addressed it, but it's political season. So
Yeah.
could you explain to people that story about that bridge and your name being put on it? That,
Okay. So someone, the community sent me a message yesterday just to say they were supporting me and blah, 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 blah. And I read it, and then they now posted in political platforms around, to which I appreciated what they did because I didn't know. So here's what happened. It was the rainy season, it was during the COVID period, and then a girl fell into the canal. And we went to visit the mom, the only child, by the way. She was crying, blah, blah, blah. We now got a call while we went at the mom's place that they found her body at Shita. So we told her to hold on. And I went to Shita at the back, Onile Gogoro area. So to cross over was just one steel. So my other members couldn't cross with me, my other people. I crossed. And after they took the girl's body, you know, started preparing her to take her for burial, the community came. At this point, I had given the whole community prepaid meters. The whole community. And then I had given them wash bay, to which they were grateful. So coming to me was Honorable Ejo Emabinu. I'm a wípé ti ṣe ilé àti ìyẹn.
Done this.
Ejo nǹkan tá ní lélẹ́yìí. So they now gave me a bill of 800,000. Instantly, I gave them 400,000. The artisan to fix it was there. They said, Honorable, just give us, we will do it. So I gave them A week later, I sent the other 400,000.
That's it.
Next thing, but I must confess, they were happy. And the reason was that they said to me, nobody in 11 years, as at that time, that they've been writing to government, they've been doing this, nobody has paid attention. I gave them prepaid meters. I now give them, by the way, I just gave them a transformer, 500 kVA transformer last year as well. And then I put 2 washing bays for them. And then they're asking for this. To them, it blew their mind. It's called 4 pillars in Shita. 4 pillars. You can go and verify. And then they said, Honorable, we have to honor you. Mwani, no. I don't put pictures in my projects. I don't need it. I always do it for God. Mwani, this one, you have to. So in all honesty, that's what happened. So to now say, as a matter of fact, the thing is even, the thing don't they shake now. They've called me again. The fear when they worry me to revisit that matter. So I've gone to beg state government to say, please
do your thing,
Your work.
what I have cannot carry.
What's the local government chairman?
But let me.
Local
No,
government.
It's the purview of the state, not on that.
That one
That
is
bridge.
state.
Yeah.
But you know what you just said now, something occurred to me while you were talking, that whoever is going to become a member, who's going to take that role as a lawmaker,
Yes.
shouldn't just be anybody. Because that's somebody that has clout and ability. Because the money you're spending is not just
cannot
the
be
person.
broke.
You can't be broke, number one. You have to also have leverage.
Yeah.
People you can call, wait, sir, please, I need 1 million.
must.
Come and
Two
help
Ega,
us.
please help me 3 million. You can't just have any Tom, Dick, and Harry become a lawmaker, and that's because all you'll be doing is going to the House of Assembly.
And be begging.
Begging. You just be there talking English.
Do you know how many
But
times
if you
I've
want
gone
to
the
act,
psychiatric hospital?
so if you want to
take
actually
people,
do additional work,
No,
you need clout.
But it's beautiful.
But it's
You know what's
interesting.
beautiful about it? And that's why to that I say thank you to Surulere, because the level of appreciation when something happens, it always brings tears to my eyes when someone says, that training you took me through. Because I always run 6 months intensive training to youth. I pay the companies or the organizations, and I pay the trainees themselves. I just give them stipends, you know, no matter how little. And the woman stood up in Alaka again yesterday when we went and said, I am a beneficiary. What you did changed my life. What else can you ask for? Please, I beg you now.
That's enormous.
And thanks to Bobby, who go make me, Bismead, all those people.
So you go
Even
there-
the money I pay them,
Yeah.
they give it back to the trainees. They give it back to the trainees. You know, and you can see it. Their graduation, these are the graduations. Different graduations you see. You know, 6 months. And then Lagos State Government, Ministry of Wealth Creation. Because at many times I run to that lady, Arobi Eke, Mommy, money don't finish. You have to bring. So she has to package, and then she has to bring. A legislator must be able to lobby.
Yes.
You must be able to lobby. I mustn't
Number one
shout
job.
it. So that's the thing. I always feel if I distract myself too much with how people think about me, I would not do work and touch lives.
Well, the
So
new
have
season-
people shouting it for
New
you.
season,
I
you
will
need them to
try.
shout.
You must shout
I
it
will
too.
try. I will
Because
start doing
this
it.
You know, we
new,
used to have town criers.
Yes,
get
let's
yourself a town
get
this
crier.
Yeah.
new wave of young
Yes.
people.
It's the new
don't-
normal.
are not waiting for the newspapers. They're not waiting for the
Yes.
news at 10. They want to get it on
Instagram,
social media.
on
So
Instagram,
every
yes.
single day has been done.
We've learned.
Yeah.
Look at another vessel.
All right, so I mean, I'm glad. Do you still go out partying, clubbing? I mean, what's
I
your
never
thing?
used to. I'm more, you know, I'm always work, and my pastime is films. So when there's
Oh, you're still
holiday-
acting?
Yes.
Not acting, but I always love to go to set. I always love
Just go there and watch them act.
It relaxes me.
Oh, nice.
I try, because we still do film.
Yeah.
Sister, there's no way a state legislator can work. And I think that law must be changed. You can't be a legislator. You must change it. You must adapt legislation to the realities in your country, not the way it's been done abroad.
Yeah.
You can't be a legislator and just sit down making laws. You must come and help the executive. We are the grassrooters. Do you understand? Now I have to be sitting with my youth.
Yes.
That's what they want.
Talking about helping the executive, Babajide Sanwo-olu is running for, like, also running, and I mean, everybody, different people are not coming out, and you know, what are your thoughts on his re-election?
You see, I smile because when I saw Babajide Olushola Sanwo-olu doing the roads, blah, 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 doing ferry, back. Sorry, I'm a film person, so you hear me do all those things. And you see him doing the blue line, the red line coming up. I'm like, okay, what's the end game? Traffic tick what you now, kilo shele. Then I went to Yaba. I now see the overhead bridge. I now seeing the roads. I now seeing 6, 8, 12, 1 year, 2 years later. Wait till 2 years later and see how Lagos is going to be. You see your ferries working. You see your railroads working. You see all this working. The man has to complete the mission. He has not finished. That's why we say Lagos is in continuum. You must continue. Why do you think we are the pride of every economy? Because we continue.
Yeah.
Now, as a legislator, I always push it to all agencies under my purview. What is your MTEF? What is your medium-term expenditure framework? Because it must go in line with your developmental framework of Lagos State. So Lagos State says we must have this. So I must see in Loma that your landfill must not stay in Olusosun. It must move somewhere else. Because that place must be for energy, renewable energy. So what is your plan, MD? Which is doing, and he's doing a great job at that as well. So I must look at what LASEPA is doing. I must look at what Lagos Water Regulation is doing, and make sure we're all moving towards the developmental goal of Lagos State.
When you talked about it like this, it's so painful because this governor, I see the work. And when I see people say, we just need to change him, vote him out, and the person is sitting somewhere far,
London,
in
Germany,
London,
in
Germany.
America.
Just like people that say,
And the
vote
person-
Desmond out. And I say, do you know your own representative? What has he done?
Yes.
Compare it with mine. Look at me. I am in, Marina. They don't tire to see me for Marina. I'm talking of Eco Disco. Oh, my God. Thank God for Sandra, one beautiful woman that is sitting there. When I do, sister, you're looking very fine. And Joe, one need chance for my
Sandra she's a sweet
And you can tell that you work because you're calling these people by name.
Yes.
You're not sending somebody.
No.
By
I go to the master, I can call you the person in the master. I can call you the person in the...
Desmond, Sandra is a WhatsApp message away. She would answer. I sent her
We
WhatsApp.
still chatted till yesterday.
So-
What is my end game? One need transform my Mabinu. So, sister, you didn't even greet me what is happening in my election. She now say, me, I'm sorry, I'm stressed out. By next week, I'm releasing my secret. I'll now say, Modupe Johnson, they don't have transformer head jaw. Please, we need transformer there. It's lobby. You have to do
to
it.
learn it.
A
Influence.
legislator must do it. That's why actors are good.
Because
when
their
they do it.
priorities.
So back to Governor sanwo-olu, and you see people tweeting, putting out messages such that you would think, were you in Lagos? I was born, lived here. I drive this road for the past 10 years down to work, and I see the difference, the ease suddenly.
Yes.
And when you want to talk about it, somebody is telling you, don't tell me anything. How do you address this population of people, honestly, sincerely, with facts?
So what I think is, first and foremost, we can never develop as a country without love. First and foremost.
Love.
I said it then, that made a lot of
Honesty.
people. I
hate
said
a
it
person,
then,
but
2
give
years
him his
ago.
credit.
I said it 2 years ago when, the heat came on me, because I probably didn't say it rightly, But everything is based on love. There's the Quran, the Bible, whatever it is, they all talk about love. Everything is based on love. You must first take away the hatred.
Yeah.
Take away the ill feelings. Everybody's hungry. Everybody's bitter. Everybody's angry. But once you show love, bring it out. I went last night at 11 p.m. When I was talking to some people, the one was so angry. I didn't know why this woman was angry. I had to send people to go and ask her what the problem was. Ask me why. She came to my office and dropped a letter, and her sister died. When I heard it, I was pained. I went to meet her yesterday, 11 p.m. I begged her. I told her I was sorry. I didn't see the letter. She said she knows that they told me I had got to bury somebody. So I told her I'm sorry. And she was crying, I was crying yesterday. And I was so grateful for Ayala. Thank you so much. Because Ayala called me. And when the woman was talking to Ayala, she was crying as well. So I told her, I don't want it to be election period. Let the election finish. We will go to the family. We will beg them. It's not like my doing anything would have helped.
Yeah.
But the fact that you stretched and I couldn't help you at that point in time made you feel bad. So let's remove this and heal ourselves.
We have to go. But one of the things I like to, we've already given you one feedback. as in fact that communicating
Yes.
with us online. The other thing I'd like you to do is we need to hold local government more accountable. So we need laws that can compel them. So this kind of person should be able to reach out to our local government chairman to support, because that's his own job, to provide amenities.
The
and
laws are
support.
actually there.
So there is just
It's the
implementation.
people, because you know your representatives. We are the ones that everybody runs. So Surulere is actually unique. It's different. We all work
There's a
together.
system that will
We all
function.
you know we are like notches ahead. You understand? We're notches ahead. So the local government chairman, we've spoken 2 times this morning. You know, so we are consistently working at par. You know,
have to
so,
go. Thank
but
you so much.
every local government must work. You know, local government, we should charge them to work.
All the best. Thank you so much. We wish you all the best.
Thank
Next
you.
weekend, you have 1 more week to campaign.
Yeah.
Hopefully, people will see the work you've done
Yes.
and give you another opportunity to lead.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That is all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.